Mentoring with Geraldine is a bite-sized practitioner podcast for naturopaths, nutritionists, herbalists and practitioners, responding directly to the needs of a practicing natural therapist. With interviews, herbal discussions, something business, something clinical, you'll get the variety you need to enjoy and stay motivated in practice. So thanks for joining me today. Don't forget to rate, review and subscribe to the podcast for our episodes. If you'd like more support, get in contact and I look forward to working with you soon. Hello everyone and welcome to Mentoring with Geraldine and the Bite Size Podcast. How the devil are you? So yesterday we had a visualization as part of this week's activity. Now please, if you haven't already, pop along and write a review for me and then screenshot that review and add it to the list to go into the draw to win a one-to-one with me or Academy membership. So you're the one who's adding where you're sharing and what you're doing because that would really help me out. As with all small businesses, it's always helpful when other people help you, but I'd love you to help me so I can help you. So let's get on with it. So yesterday was a visualization. It was thinking to the future. It was looking forward and looking at yourself 3 years from today. Now, when we look at ourselves in the future, what are we seeing? I certainly didn't see myself podcasting. I will be honest. Because I was doing the lives, or I still do the lives every week, don't I, in Strictly Education and Support. But I hadn't envisaged doing a podcast. I've now been doing the podcast a couple of years. I love it. I've relaxed into it. And I hope that you love it too, which is why I want to support you because you're my listener and you're there. You're almost behind the scenes. Many of you don't connect. You don't communicate. You just listen when the drive takes you to listen. And other times you'll email me. You'll respond to what I've spoken about. You'll respond in a group or I'll get a message or a DM or I'll get an email saying that you really connected with what I had to say. So yesterday we looked forward into the future. And what did you see in that future with you? I mean, you were sitting in a chair and yet you were in the future. And what did you see? What did you connect with? What are some of the things that come to mind now when I'm speaking to you? Because they might actually be different to what came to you during the visualization. And that's quite important because when we think about our future, we also have to think about today. And that might be that we need more clients. It might be that we need to systematize what we're doing. We need to make sure that everything flows properly and easily so that we can make the business, create the business the way we want to create it. So yes, I have lots of people in my academy who are doing that with me and I work with them regularly. And next Tuesday, we have programs in practice day. So one session every May is dedicated to creating your program in practice. So this isn't a program that you're necessarily selling to the world. You might end up doing that. But the programs in practice day is a program that would run alongside what you do one-to-one with your client, or you might have a group. Depends what the people in the academy have thought up. And we work through how to create that program, who it's going to be. There's a recording for everybody to watch afterwards. But on that same line, so that's next Tuesday if you join the academy, by the way. But on that line, today is actually about updating because we looked into the future yesterday and we saw ourselves in the future, but we have to create that future and we have to get there. So how are we going to create that future? We have to show people that future. We have to show people who we are now to be that person in 3 years' time. But we really don't want to wait 3 years' time for that, do we? We want that 3 years' time person to be in the next actual 6 months or so, don't we? So there are a number of things that we need to do for that. And one of those things, which I bang on about all the time, especially to everyone in the academy, is Google My Business. If you're not on Google My Business, then that is your task for today. If you are on Google My Business, then your task for today is to pop an update on your page. Now, how to do that is in the cache of recordings and everything else. So there's all the background to this and there's the workbook that goes with this week. The link for all of that content is in the show notes for today, in the show notes for every day this week, because we need to be updating our Google My Business and we need to be updating our social media headers. Now, why is that such a big deal? It's to do with our colors and our branding and who we are and who we're sharing of ourselves to the world. We need to make sure that we're putting out to the world who we are, what we're doing and why we're offering what we're doing. And there's a lot of discussion all the time with people going, oh, well, I didn't want to say on my private Facebook page what I do. I don't want to bother my friends. Think about your own Facebook feed or your own Instagram feed or your own Twitter feed or whatever it is, whichever social media giant you prefer to use. When you look at that, you don't constantly see your friends promoting their business, but you do occasionally see something about their business, or you might see something sort of related to it. And if you don't know what they do or you've forgotten what they do, then you'd be looking at it going, well, that's weird. Whereas if you knew that the person who's saying, look at my dinner on their private Facebook feed is a nutritionist, that's really logical, isn't it? Because you're going to look at it and go, oh, wow, her dinner looks amazing. She's such an incredible nutritionist. And it's a reminder to them, to your friends, oh yeah, if somebody needs a nutritionist, I can send them to you. Or they need a naturopath, I can send them to you. They need a whatever it is, I can send them to this person because they've had this visual reminder. So make sure, so today's little task, should you choose to accept it, is to go and update those headers. And you might have updated them at the beginning of the year. You might think, I don't need to do that, Geraldine. You banged on about this in the beginning of April, the end of March, beginning of April, to update things. Well, the reason we update things is because Facebook likes that you've updated it and it promotes it to everyone because you're playing with the algorithm, you're playing with the system. So if you put up a new photo, all of your friends will see it. And that's a reminder to all of them that you're around and what you do. And if you put some writing on that, even better, they will see that. So even if you've updated recently, well, obviously not in the last couple of weeks, but if you've updated more than a month ago, it's time to update your social media headers and your pictures and make sure that there is some comment about what you do. And in the comment box associated with every picture, it says how people can connect with you. Make sure that your connections are all up to date in your bio as well, because that's the other thing that people do. They find you on Google. So they've been to the doctor and they've been told, hey, you've got IBS. And they go, oh, okay, what's that then? The doctor says, oh, can't really do much about it. Or the doctor says, go and have some this, that, and the other thing. Off you go. And so they come home and they think, yeah, actually, I'm pretty good at the moment. Things are okay. And, oh, I'm glad that happened. And now I know. And then maybe a fortnight later, things are really bad. And they think, what'll I do? Go online and they Google IBS and they find you. And they think, or they Google hormones or whatever it is that they've been to the doctor about. But then they get home, it's 11 p.m. They can't book into the doctor. They can't do anything. So they start Googling it. They start looking it up on Safari or Go, wherever they happen to be. And so they're in there typing away, trying to figure it out, and they find you. Now they want to know that you really are who you say you are. So they check out your website, but then chances are they will find that link on there for your social media, and they will go to your social media and check out that you really are a person and that you really are who you say you are and that you've had your account for long enough before they give you any money. Or maybe they found you on social media because they've got acne and they put in hashtag acne Adelaide and you came up as the acne naturopath in Adelaide or hashtag acne Sydney. And so that's where you've come up. And so then they go to your website after the social media. So we need these things to be up to date because people need to see you numerous times before they will book in with you. And so we have to be available to them and up to date on all of our spaces and places. So to get to be that person in 3 years' time, we need to do a little bit of groundwork, and that's some updating, making sure our branding connects, making sure that our headers and our Google My Business is up and sorted. So that's today. Tomorrow we have another visualization again, different one, not the same as yesterday's, but we've got another one tomorrow. And then Thursday, we've got another little activity. So you've only got 2 activities and 3 visualizations because there's another visualization on Friday. So I'm going to leave you there. I have to update and do some work on my programs in practice day for next week in the Academy. So I've got to go and do some work on that. If you want to join the Academy, the link and a little discount code just for you, my podcast listener, is also in the show notes. So I can't wait to connect more with you and make sure that you're sharing, you're reviewing, and you're screenshotting and putting those on the spreadsheet so we know who the winner's going to be. Today, Tuesday's over. I hope you have an absolutely brilliant one, and I look forward to chatting with you tomorrow. See you soon. Thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast for the weekly episodes. If you'd like even more support and learning, then the Academy is for you. Here you'll find part 2 of the herbal discussions, more clinical learning, and case studies to support your clients in practice. Bye for now.